What if I told you that the path to more impact and more income and more freedom in your business isn't actually about adding more to your to do list? It's actually about doing less. Oh, how does that feel to actually think about doing less in your business? We are going to challenge those beliefs today. I want you to think about this for a moment. What would it feel like to actually achieve your goals without constantly feeling like you're on the edge of burnout or some kind of emotional breakdown? Without feeling like you have to work until midnight every night just to get the tasks done, just because your mind is telling you that these are the essential tasks in your coaching or your healing business. What if we could achieve those goals in a way that aligns with your values, in a way that feels really good for you, in a way that is energizing, in a way that doesn't have you pulling back all of your precious time from your family and from your hobbies and your self care, and in a way that doesn't have you piling on endless to do tasks, most of which I'm really going to challenge you here today, most of which probably aren't even necessary to actually move your business forward. And I have been so guilty of that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later today. Today, we are diving into the myth that hustling harder equals more success. And we are going to look at shifting into a mindset of the less I do, the more I make. This is a mindset that I embraced, oh gosh, a bit over 12 months ago. I borrowed it from my mentor. It became my own. Now I invite you to borrow it as well. The less is more could actually be the breakthrough that you did not know that you needed. All right. I'm so excited. This is going to land with the person who needs to hear it today. I can feel it. One of you is going to send me a message and be like, Jess, I scaled back. I started doing less. I allowed myself to not be busy all the time. And I have had these phenomenal results. I can feel it. So, I'm going to ask you some powerful questions as we go along our journey together today over the next sort of 20 minutes or so. And these are the kind of things I want you to think about as we go, because there are some like really practical steps that you can take from this episode if you really truly want to challenge yourself and start to believe, allow yourself to believe, start to take steps that have you embodying the belief of the less I do, the more I make. So let's start by thinking about what tasks and commitments that you are actually carrying out of habit rather than purpose. Hmm. I can think of so many that came in for me when I first started looking at this. And what would your business look like if you focused only on the essential things that align with your energy and your strengths and keep you in your zone of genius and keep you making money? Do you even know what those things are? Do you know what your strengths are? Do you know where your zone of genius lies? Do you know what tasks need to be done in your business every day to make money? I can almost guarantee you it is not the 4 hours a day that you are spending in Canva or the agonizing over which color logo you should be or what font. Like none of that. The branding, yes, it matters. I'm not saying branding doesn't matter, but what I am saying is that those things that you are agonizing over this caption that you're putting out on social media and putting it out to your mentors to get feedback and all of these things, like that isn't the needle moving thing. That is not the needle moving thing. If you put out a caption and it's not amazing, that's fine. Try again, do another one. Okay. I'm going off on a tangent. And if you are brand new here, please know that I do that quite frequently. If you are coming back, if you are a regular listener, please welcome back. I am so happy to be here today, serving you as an impact driven soul. We are, as I said, tackling that mindset shift that has the power to completely transform how you show up in your business and your life. It is a belief that I have had to learn, and in order to learn that belief, I have had to unlearn many things that have blocked me from that along the way. This belief, as I mentioned before, is the less I do, the more I make. And this isn't about doing less because we're lazy or because we just don't want to work. Although I have had clients say that to me. It's, what's your ideal business? Well, I'd be making money, but I wouldn't really be doing much. Like, okay, amazing. Let's embrace what feels good for you. Absolutely no judgment if that is your goal. But the reason I said that is because how many of us actually have a association with doing less that means that we're lazy? That if we are not like working ourselves to the bone, that we are not the last one to clock off, that we aren't the busiest, that we aren't the one with the biggest on our to-do list, that we are not worthy. Is that where this has come to? That if we are doing less, that we're lazy, that we're not worthy of success, that we won't get the success? Start to examine your beliefs right here, right now, that are blocking you from being able to even start to embody the belief of the less I do, the more I make. Okay. This is a belief that is going to help you to reclaim your energy. It is going to help you to really lean into intentional action and intentional living. Because if you are doing less in your business, you are being gifted time to do more in your life. To let go of that hustle mentality. I know, here she goes again, harping on about the same thing. But that mentality, again, those beliefs I just touched on, the if I am not busy, if I am not constantly doing, that I'm lazy, then I'm not going to be able to be successful. Again, the last person to clock off is the one that gets the most done. Oh, that was my lunch. I just knocked my fork and off went my lunch everywhere. But those are the beliefs that we want to really shift today and we really want to challenge, because those are the beliefs that live in hustle mentality, that come from a world that glorifies hustle, that makes us feel uncomfortable, or even there is something wrong with us if we are not always doing more. So, if you are ready to come out of that cycle of doing and embrace a more expansive and aligned approach to your business, then we are going to dive deep in now. And by the way, just in case I didn't say earlier, my name is Jessica. If you are new, my name is Jessica, and I am an alternative therapist and holistic business mentor for coaches, healers, impact driven entrepreneurs just like you who want to grow a successful, a scalable, but sustainable business that honors their values, that honors their beliefs, and that looks after and nourishes their nervous system. Okay, so we are scaling, we are hustling to the health of our nervous system, we are choosing to do things differently. We bring together energetics with strengths led strategy, with personal evolution for a triad of energies of success. So that is who I am. That is how I help you. And now let's get deeper into how you can actually now shift into this belief. This belief, the less I do, the more I make. Boy, this has been hard for me to shift. As I just mentioned, like we do live in a world that has glorified the hustle for so long and has made you feel like there is something wrong with you if you are trying, like actively trying to do less in your business. What's your goal? To be as hands off as possible, to be in my zone of genius, to be living more, to be working less. It is not lazy if you want to work a 4-hour work week. That is not laziness. And if you can create that for yourself, and I literally have mentors who are doing that, it is not a myth. If you can create that for yourself, then do it. I run my business 4 days in 4 days. Okay. I work for 3 of those days from 10 till 2:30 because I have learned to embrace all the things that I'm going to share with you today and all the things that I'm going to teach you about how we can really lean into this. Okay, so we are here to really create this intentional spaciousness within our business that allows us to connect really deeply with our purpose and make clearer decisions and show up in our business from a place of alignment. And that in itself is going to give us this awareness that hopefully catches us before burnout. Okay, so by the end of today's episode, you are going to have three really powerful takeaways to help you start doing less in your business whilst creating more impact, whilst generating more income and more fulfillment in your business. Because let's face it, when we're doing all of these tasks that are so draining, which by the way, we're not meant to be doing, we're not meant to do it all. We're honestly not. And if you got into business, we come in and we accept that, okay, there is a time where we wear multiple hats in our business. But maybe there's also opportunity for letting some of those things go. Some of them may not even be relevant to your business at all. Some of them may be things that you've picked up along the way, the shoulds, the things that you think you should be doing because you've seen other people doing them, or because someone said that it might help, or just because that's just what you thought you needed to do. Maybe we're letting go of things that actually you are ready to outsource and delegate. So that first step in embracing the idea that like I do less, the less I do, the more I make, is to really redefine for you what productivity means in your business. Because so many of us were taught that being productive means crossing off as many tasks as possible, means staying as long as possible, means working as much as possible. But what if we shifted that? What if we challenged that right now and we shifted that focus to impact rather than activity? Instead of asking, how much can I do today? What's all the things that I've got to put on my list today? And actually, no, let me share this question first. Ask yourself instead, what will create the biggest impact today? Now, I recently signed up to this software called Use Motion, and it is like an AI personal assistant. It organizes all of your tasks. Okay. And so I was setting it all up and I was like, okay, what are the tasks I need to do? Putting in repeated tasks each week, putting in tasks. And then I realized, hang on a minute, I caught myself trying to be like, okay, this task, because this AI is going to then go and put it on my calendar, which is amazing for me. Because if you know me, you know that I'm a bit of a scatterbrain, and if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't get done. And sometimes even if it is on the calendar, it doesn't get done. I'm so happy to own that. I do not claim to be the most organized person in the world. Some of my clients I know right now are just laughing with me. But the thing is, though, is that I caught myself trying to add more. And then I stopped and I looked at it. I was like, I don't need to do this task anymore. First of all, I've hired someone to do this task. Why am I still trying to be in it? Get out of it. Second of all, look how much this AI is trying to cram into this day, because I'm like, oh, free space. What else can I do? No. Lucky I caught myself. So for you today, don't ask yourself, what can I do or how much can I do? Ask yourself, how can I create the biggest impact? Imagine if there was only like three things on your to-do list, but each and every one of those tasks actually moved the needle forward in a significant strategic way. Okay. Imagine if you were no longer just busy, but you were actually effective, strategic, that you focused on what matters and you were able to show up to what matters in your zone of genius. And this shift not only frees up your time, but it also creates a sense of calm and clarity, because you are no longer caught in that endless cycle of doing for the sake of doing. And without mentorship, a lot of the time, without guidance, without someone saying, what is the purpose of this in your business? Is this actually you just doing for the sake of doing? Then we do get caught up in tasks that are not needle moving. At the beginning of every single week in my mastermind, I have an AI robot that comes in and it says, what are you working on this week that is directly aligned with your goals? And then it gives the opportunity to ask, and like to ask for help, and to do like an energy check-in and something else I can't quite remember, but it's like this weekly check-in that is, hey, I want you to reprioritize. Is this actually needle moving? Is this going to get me towards my goals? And if you don't know, ask. If you don't know what you should be focusing on, because your brain is telling you that all of these little things are actually really important when the only important thing for you to do this week is to connect with your audience, or the only important thing for you to do this week is to actually launch your damn course. Like, or to reconcile your months of zero accounts so that you can become clean with your financial energy. Like, sometimes we want to do everything when we should only be doing one thing. And even again, looking at that AI example that I just shared with you, when I look at my day to day and all of these tasks, I sat this morning and I'm really testing this thing to see, because if I don't do a task, it reschedules it on my calendar in another time. And so I sat this morning and I was like, okay, how much of this do I really have to do today? I love that this has put all these things on my calendar, but what is needle moving priority for me? Now, for me, the very first thing that was needle moving priority that I had flagged as high priority, so this AI put it as high, was my connection time. That is my time, first of all, for Voxer catch up, for Slack coaching, because they are real clients that I have to serve. And then it was connection time to go through Instagram. Now, I am guilty, very guilty of picking up my phone to do something on Instagram and then scrolling. So I've been really intentional. My calendar is telling me that I can go on Instagram now. This is the time that's allocated. I have a goal while I'm on here, and I'm just really trying to hold those boundaries with myself, because it is really easy to get stuck in these spaces. But my point was is that then that connection time then was also about reaching out, saying hello to new followers, meaningfully commenting and engaging on people. Like, these are the needle moving things, because this is how I build relationship and connection with people. And then recording this podcast episode, that is priority. Why? Because that is how I educate and inspire and I connect. That is how I get lead generation into my business. And a little FYI on the side of that, if you'd like a free, I thought that would be a good segue into something. But seriously though, have you downloaded my launch lifesaver? If you are launching, you absolutely need it. It is a bundle of 5 EFT tapping audios that have been specifically written to help common launch emotions, think self sabotage, launch brain, financial blocks. And you can literally go and download it right now. It is free. But these are the priority things in my business. And so, yeah, really exploring that, and really, as me, showing up as a leader. These are the things that someone else can't do for me. Someone else can't record my podcast. Someone else can't go voice message potential clients, or nurture my clients in Voxer and Slack. So you understanding what is actually revenue generating, what is actually needle moving in your business versus the other things I had on that list. Oh, I could record this thing for a new product that I'm about to offer. I could, yes, absolutely. But it didn't take priority for me today over something that's actually needle moving, something that is income generating for me, over the clients that I'm seeing this afternoon. And if it feels uncomfortable at first to leave tasks undone, oh, trust me, you get used to that. No, if you feel uncomfortable, then what I want you to do is I want you to remind yourself that productivity is actually about the quality of your output, not the quantity of your output. And maybe have a look at something like Use Motion or something. I'm still on my free trial, so I'm not endorsing this. I don't know for sure if I'm going to keep it. But maybe using something like that, or a personal assistant, to actually be like, hey, this task isn't done, but you said it's medium priority and you said it's a due date of next Friday. So I'm just going to pop this on your calendar later. And when it gets closer to Friday, I'm going to make sure that it is priority. So maybe just having that help as well is going to help you to understand that you can do less in your business and make more. So there was so much time where I really felt like I had to be cramming my calendar full of clients to make more money. I felt like I had to be filling my day from the moment I dropped the kids at school or daycare right until pickup, where I felt like I couldn't pause. And I've done a whole episode on slowing down to speed up, where I felt like I couldn't pause to breathe, to exercise if I hadn't already moved my body that day. Like, why did I feel that pressure to come straight in and have absolutely no spaciousness in my business despite all of these values around health and well-being and around wanting to create this freedom to not be tied down to those hours? Yet, what was I doing? I had to learn to unbecome all of the past behaviors from old workplaces and the way that we've basically been conditioned since school to operate. I had to unbecome that because there is a huge power in spaciousness. And I know firsthand that when you create space in your schedule, it can feel really counterproductive, especially when we're taught that every minute should be filled with activity. And again, think about it from what you've learned right from like preschool, everything is you go from this activity to this, to lunch, to this, to morning tea, to it's all scheduled and it's all bang, bang, go. And you even rest at this time of the afternoon when you're in those early days. It's everything is really filled to the brim with what we believe is productivity. But what I have found is that when we actually give ourselves permission to slow down and we start to embrace ease, we actually start to attract more aligned opportunities. We become more magnetic to the right clients, to the right ideas, to the right collaborations. Because spaciousness isn't about you just having time off, although that's nice too. Imagine creating systems in your business that actually allow you to step away, to keep going while you make money. We'll talk about that in a moment. But it's also about giving yourself permission, creating intentional gaps in your day to breathe, to reflect, and to recalibrate. Because as I've spoken about so many times, when you are in your survival mode brain, you are not focused on being creative or productive. You're just focused on survival. So, all of these tasks that we need to get done, we wonder why we're not focused. We wonder why we're not being productive. We wonder why we're struggling to come up with our podcast content script, or it takes us an hour and a half to put one damn thing on Instagram. Like, what a waste of time. Take that hour and a half, spend an hour of it breathing or meditating, and then do your post. And I guarantee it'll take you 5 minutes. I recently had a client, I shared a little bit of this story last week, who was really struggling with this. She was feeling really exhausted, and one of her biggest fears is burning out. And she kept saying, I just need to, I feel like I shouldn't be stopping, but I'm challenging. I'm just letting myself just slow down. I'm letting myself just prioritize me. Like that was a really big thing that she was working on, not just pushing through. And then there was this moment where she's like, you know what, I haven't posted on social media in so long. I don't know like what's going on with my business finances. I feel like I've just completely just not been showing up the way I usually do. And then she took a look at her business finances and realized that while she had actually been stepping back, she had gone from $10,000 months to $13,000 to $17,000 months. All while I was like, the first thing I said was like, can we bust that myth now? Because we had been saying on all of these calls, I was like, the less I do, the more I make. The less I do, the more I make. I want you to believe that. The less I do, the more I make. And the thing is that her business kept going because she had allowed herself to implement teams and systems that kept it going while she as a human was exhausted and she needed to rest. And now she's starting to get her energy back, and I cannot wait to see like where her business goes when she comes back in with this renewed energy. So what I want you to do, I have a practical step for you, is I want you to start scheduling white space in your calendar. Maybe an hour a day. Maybe just half an hour to start with if an hour feels too much. An hour a day where there is no pressure to achieve, no task to complete. If your newsletter went out tomorrow at lunchtime instead of this evening at 7 p.m., are any of your clients actually going to be like, hi, Jess, your newsletter usually goes out at 7 p.m. and I'm really upset with you that you didn't like, no. And if they do, then those people, this is fine. They're coming in with their own perception and maybe they have, what is it? I think it's the undefined ego in human design. I'm pretty sure. You might correct me if I'm wrong if you're a human design expert listening to this, but those people struggle with you not doing what you say you are going to do. Maybe if you get someone, they probably just have an undefined human design ego. Otherwise, though, if you need time, if you need to nurture yourself, then do. Honestly, if you need to pause and slow down to speed up, then do. So let's come back to what I was talking about. Schedule 1 hour a day where there is no pressure to achieve, no task to get done. This might be time for you to reflect, might be time to just let your mind wander, might be time to do something that actually really lights you up creatively. It is not wasted time. This is essential because this, for you, as the CEO in your business, as the creative director, as the person who is going to attach to that bigger vision and to lead your team forward and to lead your community forward and to have that impact that you are wanting to create with your business, this is essential. Okay. This is where your clarity, where your inspiration, where your alignment comes from when you have room to flow. And watch this intentional spaciousness start attracting the very clients and opportunities that you have been chasing. When we come out of that energy of chasing and you start to get clarity on how you're moving forward, when you stop that doing cycle, then you are going to be able to lead more decisions with your body rather than your mind. So I challenge you to schedule that 1 hour of white space in your calendar every single day and start to see what happens. And if it feels really uncomfortable at first, you can tap, even though I really want to do something. I feel really uncomfortable doing nothing, but I'm going to sit in this discomfort and literally just tap those words. I'm uncomfortable doing nothing. I'm uncomfortable doing nothing. My brain is saying, get up and do something. You're being lazy. You're wasting time. You can tap those words and get through it and teach your body some safety in that. Because the thing is that all of these thoughts that we have, this is all coming from your identity. This is all of this is about your identity. I choose to identify as someone who believes that the less I do, the more I make. That as I am not trying to stretch myself into helping everyone and serving everyone and jam packed filling my calendar to serve everyone and to come from that energy of like desperation of, oh, the more clients I see, the more I can make. That's not actually true because I have a time limit within my day. I have school pickup, I have school drop off, I have little people to take care of, I have my own mind and body to nurture. It is not true that I can simply just fill up my calendar and make all the money in the world. So the less I do, the more I make is about me becoming the identity of the CEO who creates impact, or as the coach or healer, sorry, who creates impact through group programs as well as private, who actually gives more impact to people if I have a capped amount of people that I work with because I am not overextended, who actually is able to give more impact to people within their lives and their business when I am looking after my energy first. This is an identity shift for me from the person who was always praised for being really busy, praised for getting the most amount of things done, praised for ticking off a million things in my to-do list. Half of the stuff I just fabricated literally so that I could tick something off. You need to see yourself as a CEO in your business. And you need to not just be the person who executes tasks in your business. That's not what you're here for. So when we stay stuck in this worker bee mentality, then you end up handling everything yourself. And that is detrimental to your clients' outcomes and your ability to actually make money. Okay. Delegating. I know people who have been burnt by staff. I know that this is a real thing. These are real challenges. Come into the mastermind, we can help you navigate that. But being the CEO means trusting your vision and trusting that when you operate within your zone of genius and you delegate and you focus on high level activities that only you can bring to the table, that this is how you make that impact and this is how you bring more income into your business. I want you to think of it like this. Your business doesn't need you to do everything. It needs you to be in your zone of genius. And if you are co creating with your business, which is something that I teach in all of my business foundations, actually co creating with the energy of your business, then you will actually know that there are things that you can do within your business to support it, and there are things that your business can do for you to support you. And sometimes that is going to be systems, structure, team. For me, this is one of the hardest shifts to make because I really genuinely thought that if I was not in the absolute weeds of every single task, that things would fall apart. Now I love delegating. That's my VA. She gets a message in Slack. Hi, I need you to do this new task. Can you do this and this? And then occasionally I find myself getting back in it. And then I'm like, no, you step back out. Okay, need to step back out because there are systems in place that mean that I can have a spacious morning. That mean that I can take a day off if I'm sick, that I can stay with my kids if they're sick or if they just need me. Like there is spaciousness so that I can be me, have a life, nurture my body. I am an emotional woman. I go up and down like a yo-yo. And those lows that I come to, oh, they're hard. And they come with anxiety, and sometimes they come with panic attacks, and they're not nice. But that these systems that I have in place in my business ensure that when I am low, it keeps going. I needed to choose to be the woman who actually lent into my role as a CEO in my business, understanding again that impact that I want to make, that won't happen if I am busy in Canva. That won't happen if I am the one clipping the podcast episodes, spending God knows how long. That won't happen if I am in the scheduling app, if I am doing all of these admin tasks that are like, I'm not saying they're not important and they have so much value, but they're not my zone of genius. They're not. I'm gonna be the one on the coaching calls. I'm gonna be the one putting together next month's mastermind. I'm the one building you. Oh my God, I have a tiny offer coming out next week. I don't know the exact date, but I will let you know if you're on my email list. And for $27, I'm going to teach you how to build a soul aligned offer that have your clients saying, oh my gosh, she's in my head. This is an absolute hell yes. And I'm going to teach you that just for $27. And it is so bite sized yet in depth, step by step, what to do, what to include. I couldn't create that for you if, again, I was then creating all of the image covers for the course that goes with it. And I was having to put it all into Kajabi, and I couldn't be doing that. I couldn't be building an energetic foundations course for you if I was doing those things. I couldn't be leading my mastermind and coaching in Slack if I was doing those things. I had to learn that me not being in it is actually the best thing in some cases. It's actually for the better. And I'm still building out my team, and I look forward to seeing the growth of my business. But what I choose to do right now is to direct my energy towards the vision and towards the strategy that is going to take me to the vision, and come back into my body in terms of how to move forward with that strategy and the connection with my clients. And guess what? When I started doing this, my business grew faster. When I did less, I made more. Just It's just how it is. So I have a really practical step for you again to really help you embody this CEO mindset. I want you to actually start your week. I know it's Tuesday if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, but I want you to actually start your week by choosing just 3 CEO level tasks that you are going to prioritize. Now, these could be things like vision planning. It could be creating content that is connecting with your ideal client, or saying hi in the DMs, sales conversations, refining your offers. Delegate or eliminate tasks that don't fit this higher level focus. Okay, if you are still building your support system, that's okay. Start small. And if you are outsourcing, then make sure that you are outsourcing tasks that actually are going to be supportive of you focusing on where you need to focus. Maybe you outsource one task or set boundaries around when you'll respond to emails. These are small ways that you can start because we don't need to be, and I may get some backlash on this, people who are in like customer service or whatnot, but you don't need to be responding the second someone sends you an email. I love one of my mentors. She has an auto response on there that says, "We prioritize our energy as much as we teach. Therefore, expect a 48-hour to whatever turnaround in responding to your email." I let my clients know that a while ago. I sent an email out saying, "This is what you can expect in terms of response times," because I refuse to allow my phone or these distractions to dictate me actually making an impact in my business. I'm still going to connect and serve people in the emails, but the fact is that for me is also a bit of a distraction, which is why I have people in my inbox telling me what's actually priority as well. What is actually priority for me? What needs my attention and what doesn't? Excuse me. So maybe you start by setting some boundaries. Maybe you start by just outsourcing something extra. But these small steps allow you to start to show up as that CEO and not the worker bee in your business, not the doer. You're not the doer now. You are the visionary. Okay. You didn't buy yourself a job. That is not, oh, maybe it is why you started a business. But generally, if you're in my world, that is not why you started a business. You didn't start your business to buy yourself another job with now I'm checking on what I ate for lunch with like endless tasks. No. So let's start now by choosing impact over activity. Okay. And you may like to borrow my belief: the less I do, the more I make. I want you to embrace spaciousness. I want you to learn where your blocks are in your identity that is stopping you from stepping into your role as a CEO. Are you employed by your business or are you the visionary in your business? What beliefs are you holding on to that are actually blocking you from letting go, from stepping back, from doing less, from shorter work days, from less on your task list to outsourcing things? What are the beliefs that you have that are stopping you from doing that? Where does that feel uncomfortable in your body? And if you really truly want to embody the most successful entrepreneurial version of yourself and unbecome what is no longer serving you, I highly encourage you to have a look at my Embodied Entrepreneur program. Over 12 months, I will help you to unbecome and then become your version of the most successful entrepreneur that you can possibly be. It is an identity upgrade, and it is the essential internal personal work to cultivate that internal dialogue and the internal resources, the thoughts, the beliefs, the nervous system state that is going to help you to actually hold the level of success you are wanting to create. If that sounds like something that you need right now, then go down and check out Embodied Entrepreneur. You can literally come into that program at any time. It is a 12-month integration. So this is, it's not just about making more money. The less I do, the more I make. The more money I make, the more impact I make. And that's at home as well. Because I didn't just start this business to just make money or do what I love. I also started it with the vision that I was going to make more, excuse me, that I was going to make more impact at home with my girls. So yes, more money, more impact. It's also about creating a business that aligns with your soul, that honors your energy, and that allows you to show up powerfully without burning out, because you were not meant to do everything. You're really, truly not. You came into this space to be a coach, to be a leader, to be a healer, to have impact on people's lives, to create courses that are accessible for people to heal universally, like to hold membership spaces where people come and feel seen and let go, and to help people build and scale businesses. Like, you came into this with a gift Your gift was not, or maybe it is, depending on what you came in with your particular gift. Your gift is not necessarily, unless you're a Canva coach, to be spending all your day creating Instagram graphics and obsessing over what you post and spending 7 hours a day on social media and feeling like you're doing all of these things and getting nowhere. You are doing all the things and you are getting nowhere because you're likely implementing a strategy that does not serve your energy and includes a lot of things that you think you should be doing. These are things that we become an embodied entrepreneur. These are things that I help you with directly in the mastermind. We will build this business alongside you. So, depending on where you're at right now, you may like to work with me privately. There are very limited spaces for that now. You may like to come into the mastermind, and as I record this, there are only 4 places. Or you might like to come into Embodied Entrepreneur, and you can join that at any time. You can apply for the mastermind or the one-on-ones now. So if you are still feeling the pull to keep doing more, I want you to borrow my belief today. I know it feels strange, especially if you've been conditioned to believe that success only comes through constant effort, through doing more, that not doing more is lazy, unproductive, that you are less worthy, less than, less whatever your story is. But trust me when I say this. And as I said, my beautiful mastermind client, like she's just learning the same thing. The less I do, the more I make. This is not a luxury, it is a necessity shift for sustainable soul aligned business because I know that you not only want to scale your business if you are here listening to this, that you not only want to stop leveraging your time for money as your only way of making money, but you also want to do it. You want that successful business in a way that is sustainable. Otherwise, we burn out. Otherwise, our body says no. So I want you to try these steps, these tasks that I've given you today. I want you to trust the process. Look yourself in the mirror every day and say, the less I do, the more I make. And watch as your business begins to flourish with ease. And as you notice that ease, reinforce that belief, saying, yes, I have told myself, the less I do, the more I make. And that evidence is building and it is building and it is building. And allow yourself to see that. It's going to change your life. 100% it's going to change your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. As always, I would love to hear from you. My DMs are open. Come into my Instagram. Let me know how you are going to start embracing the less is more philosophy in your business. If you'd like to connect on Instagram, if you'd like to pop in my email inbox, then you absolutely can as well. I am here to chat it through. I am here if you are ready to step into one of my 3 amazing containers. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so happy to support you every single week. And I cannot wait to come back next week with another episode of Alive and Thriving. So until then, make sure you have your launch lifesaver because if you are preparing to launch anything, if you are already launching, then you know that there is an emotional roller coaster that your body remembers. And these EFT audios are going to completely change your whole emotional experience when it comes to launching. So go and download that now. It is completely free. Then you'll be on my email list and you will know when my brand new offer comes out, $27 just $27, to create your whole soul aligned offer using my signature SOUL aligned framework. I cannot wait to share all of this with you. Okay, talk to you soon.